Hey, welcome to a huge comic book haul. Now, this is not bigger than a normal comic book haul for me as far as pure numbers of comics, but it is big because of the price. Now, I bought some new comic books, and when I say new, I'm not joking with you. Some of these are actually new, so this is the new stuff I'll save for the end. The first I want to go through, I think it's either 3 dozen or 4 dozen. I'm pretty sure it's 3 dozen, but it's 12 for $10 at Player's Choice. So this is my Player's Choice haul. So these are the dollar bin comics. Some of them clearly marked. They should all be clearly marked. But these were these were $1 each, and they were very, very much kitty cat. She's trying to get me. These also were like I said, 12 for $10. Also, I did get a model kit. I have been wanting this model kit since I was a kid. Not a kid. Since it came out. So I had a book that shows all the model kits. This is 2000. It was definitely before 2000 when the original kit came out. So this might be an upgraded version of that one. But I remember it was Atua Bau, because I remember saying it over and again, like, I want the Bau. But it's HD Universal Century 2000, or number 15. It says made in Japan 2000. I think this is definitely a reprint. There's no way it goes back that far. And I guess this is a remake of the original Atua Bau, because it probably was a glued together kit. It was from, I want to say Zeta Gundam? I don't know. It says Neo Zeon Attack Use Prototype Transformable. Back then, they did, okay, so I don't know. I thought they kept, so if it was one of the original ones before they started doing these HG upgrades to all the kits, which were not glued together, this was 15, which means it was one of the very first ones. Because that number right there now is up in like 300s, I think. At least, I know because I got a 300 and something. Looking to see if there's anything on here that tells you what series this is from. But yeah, I definitely wanted this back in the day, at least the original one when I saw it in it was probably around 2000 when I had that book. Look on one of my YouTube videos, I got a catalog. I had one catalog probably around 2001. And then the follow-up year, and then I was like, well, there's not much of a difference. I'm not going to keep buying this every year. So I was done. So here are the comics I got, and if it goes too long and you get bored, you start getting tired, I'll go ahead and switch it up and do 2 videos or something, because there is a lot to cover here. And I don't like just showing you the covers. I want to show you a reason for it. So I don't know anything about New Superman. I think he's from China, or like the knockoff. Yeah, because it says Justice League of China. Duh. And the Justice League of China, introducing the new Aquaman of North Korea. I don't know what they're doing here, but hey, it's got Aquaman in it. This was all right, I need one more comic book to be 12, and this was one of them. I definitely remember that much. All right, Blue Beetle. I was like, yes. I was so stoked to get these old Blue Beetle comics. And I got more in here too. I said Blue Beetle comics, and there's one showing. All right, sorry. But yeah, I was so stoked whenever the Crisis on Infinite Earths happens. Mark from on his every Tuesday at 2:00, he comes on to do New DC Day. He was talking about he would have loved to have been around or alive when this was actually running new. I was like, oh, I never thought about that. He wasn't born, and he got to read it like in hindsight. But the excitement for me was seeing that all the superheroes from all over, including ones from that Blue Beetle and Captain Atom, I was like, oh my gosh, they're coming to DC. I was so stoked about that, because I knew about them when I was a kid, but nobody else knew who they were or cared, because they weren't on TV or they weren't popular. And now suddenly they're going to be in the universe. So I was very happy. That was one of my biggest takeaways from Crisis on Infinite Earths. X-Mutants #1. I don't have a reason for getting this. I just hear a lot of people like X-Mutants, so hopefully it's not for the wrong reasons. All new stories, new heroes, new villains. It sounds like the opposite of X-Men, so we'll see. That was my pump going on. So I guess Midnight's in there, probably turning the water on. All right. What was I doing? Washing clothes. All right. Anyway, Alpha Flight. I get so stoked when I find issues that I've never read. I've never read this. I've read up to like 54. I remember when Box got into the team. I really liked Box, but then life happens. You get too busy. So, yeah, that one looks really good. I can't wait to read that one. Strike Force, I think this was also one of these ones that's like, well, I need 12, so here's number 11, and the other one was like 12, I think, when I was like done. Because even though it's modern, it does have a few characters I like her name is now Photon. I love Angela. I know that they've really corrupted her character, but I still love her. And I don't know who these other guys are. I'm guessing that's Damien Hellion. I have no clue who that is. It was like Robin or something. I know who that is, the Winter Soldier, I guess, and Blade, and the Spider-Woman that I grew up with. But I was like, I'll try it. I know I'm going to be disappointed. This cover, oh my gosh. If you have ADHD, you could be like, whoa, just staring at this thing for hours. It's got like a billion things on it. Oh, look, there's that woman, Puma, or whatever her name is, from the New Titans. Anyway, so there's so many. It's like, where's Waldo? I'm looking for Waldo. Yeah, that's a really cool. And I think this was back when I heard that West Coast Avengers became sucky at the end. I only read like the first few issues of it, so I don't really know. I read the miniseries, and then followed by this. I've read this one, but I'm like, you know what? It was back when I was reading Given Away. I read the first 20 issues or so of X-Men. So I just went back in my collection. That's why I got this one personally. It was a really good series, and that was number 9. So I like what I've read so far. I like. Sometimes I like to get something just because I've never heard of it, and this is also. Those look like the guys off of what is it called? The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The aliens, the Zadis, whatever they're called. But this looks like, it looks interesting. Stark Raven. He looks like a Batman. Like a literal, he's got like the bat wing ears and everything. All right, this one I already have. I even have this version of it because, you have 2 different versions. You got the comic book shop and the other one. Sorry, I'm cold right now, so I'm like, my brain's freezing. But I was like, I guarantee you, I'm pretty sure if I remember right, my version of this, my copy of this is not that good a condition. So I went and grabbed it because when you going to see ramen in a dollar bin? Not often. Oh, and okay, so the guy who owns the store down there, Adam, he was like going, well, on the bottom 3 boxes, I got brand new stuff. Do you ever read the 90s Valiant stuff? I was like, I haven't. I've never liked it. And he's like, well, it's some good reading there. You might want to check it out. And I was like, all right. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy 1 issue of Valiant for you. And it's going to be Ninjak, because Ninjak is a ninja. I got number 1. Haven't read it. I did get number 2 at another place after this, like Player's Choice. After Player's Choice. At Super Deals. So I got 2 issues now. But I'm like, Ninjak looks cool. He looks kind of like Shinobi, sort of. So, I'll probably end up reading it one day. I'm trying to get all of the New Earth comics. So we got, Seraph? Isn't that, I thought that was a DC character. All right, so number 20 and 21 of Justice. And this is when they started changing the logo. Like, it used to be New World, New Universe, what do I want to call it on the top. That was New Earth. But anyway, so now we got Justice, 2 of those issues. I'm trying to complete that line. I vaguely remember this, but I have none in my collection, which I was surprised about. I always thought the art looked really like James Bond looking on the cover. It's probably made for mature readers, but I'll just giggle my way through it. This is something back in the day I would have liked to have seen, but I probably would have not read it because it looked too, I don't know. It's the art on the cover looks fantastic. I probably, I have mixed feelings about it. I will definitely want to get more of them before I start reading. I might even do a flip through, just to check it out. It's getting chilly out here. Man, the sun's going down behind the trees. That's why I had to pull my desk back, or my table back. All right, Night Mask. This is, I think, the final issue. I've never seen it before, which explains a lot, because usually those final issues are almost impossible to find. And then I got number 7. I've got almost every Night Mask issue. There's only a dozen of them. Not sure why this one sounded like it was really good, but it didn't go more than 12 issues, while the other New Universe comics went farther. Elongated Man. I had this back in the day. I had all 4 of them, I think it was, or was it 3? 4-issue miniseries, yeah. I do have another one, so I'll start this one. I remember it was during the Justice League of Europe era. Yeah. So I guess he was taking a tour while he was, serving. Dark Stars number 2, good, because I read Dark Stars number 1, and I don't want to really just jump to number 9. So hey, there we go. Dark Stars number 2. So that's what I got it for, because I definitely do want to read more of those. Oh, here we go. Here's the other Blue Beetle. We got Blue Beetle number 15. I know that if Matilda, you're watching this is just for you. He's got that beautiful back yellow on the cover. And Blue Beetle number 16. So I got about 3 issues in a row. So there's number 16. That might be Maxwell Lord singing up behind him. My cat's trying to jump up around the table, so expect anything in a minute. Oh, see, there he is. Hey, sweetheart. Love you, but I love you more on the floor. All right, so we got the New Invaders. I like the Invaders. I don't know if I like the New Invaders, but we'll find out. Here's Reborn and They Return Part 4. I'm very curious of why did they do that whole, for about a year, change to all of the Image comic people? What happened there? Why did they do that? I wasn't part of that when it happened, so I'm still trying to figure all that stuff out. I read Iron Man number 1 from that series. Not really that impressive, to be honest with you. But I am curious about it. It intrigues me. Daydreamers number 1. This has got what's his face? Oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. Franklin Richards. Did I say that right? Is it Richard Franklin's? It's Richard Franklin, isn't it? He's a president. Anyway, it looks like Howard the Duck. Yeah, it's interesting. It's got Swamp Thing. I thought it was background there for a minute. I was like, wait, that's Swamp Thing. Or not Swamp Thing, Man Thing, sorry. It's got those aliens from FF, so I don't know what this is. 3 mutants, 1 alien, 1 monster, and 1 very angry duck on a journey of the unknown. How can you say no to a comic book like that? It's just... And Matilda, there you go. There's a purple background. All right, I did get to the Guinness Marvel. I don't particularly like it, but hey, it's Nova month, November. And here's the other one. I saw Nova on the cover. I was like, okay, well, we could try it. Probably won't like it, but I know that Guinness Marvel does have bug in his issues. I've heard, at least. Maybe I'm wrong. And that looks like a predator in the background, but it also could be a diary. I don't know. Wait, that would be Rom. That would not be what I'm thinking of. I was thinking of Bug as far as the Micronauts. But if there's some connection to the Micronauts, or the Microns as they became known, I'd like to know more about it. So I got numbers 2 and 4 of that comic book. Guinness Marvel. All right. Squadron Supreme, Civil War 2. I'll try it, sure. I like Squadron Supreme, and I did read a more modern Squadron Supreme and actually liked it. Damage Zero. I've read the first 5 or 6 issues of Damage, I think, or whatever. I remember he pretty much blew up his school. Maybe it was the grounds, the football field. So yeah, that was a long time ago. 90s stuff right there, yeah. Then we got some more Dark Stars. This is like toward the end, whenever Donna Troy was in the team. And they have new comic books there. I was like, okay, I will probably read it because it's Power Lords. I liked Power Lords. This was the only figure of Power Lords I had when I was a kid. But my gosh, I wanted them all, but I remember them being on the expensive side for what they were. Everybody thought they were just He-Man knockoffs. I just thought they were really, really, like somebody was doing some serious, like, cocaine or something when they come up with these characters. They were like so weird. They were the weirdest thing you've ever seen. And this is not even the weirdest ones. I freaking love the action figures. Grip Tog's one of my favorites. He's got, when I say he has 4 arms, he literally has 4 arms. He's got 2 arms on each elbow, let me put it that way. And they grip. It's just crazy stuff, man. Crazy. I don't know which issue this is, but when I slid it out, I scanned it. When I get done with the player's choice, I go out on the little table and I scan all into my pad. So when I go to the next place, which is Super Deals, I won't have to be like, did I buy this already? I don't know. I haven't got to look at it for more than 2 seconds. So anyway, I don't know which issue this is, but it's obviously a modern Silverhawks. Speaking of Silverhawks, here's number 2. So it may be the same one because there's like 1,000 covers nowadays. I liked Silverhawks when I was a kid a lot. I had all the toys. I wish I kept them, but I know I had to sell them at some point. But But they were fan. I do have one that I kept for sure. I'll never sell this one. Flashback's my favorite. He just looks so cool. He's green, shiny. He has the flip out wings and everything. But bluegrass is cool. I like bluegrass. I know all their names. It's the bluegrass, Steel Wheel, and Steel Heart, the twins. Steel Wheel is the male. Steel Heart's the female. I was about to say Keop because these are like. I also talked about how these are the whole Sentai formula from Battle of the Planets. They also had bird wings and everything too. So it's not Keop. Oh my gosh, Copper Kid. That's it, Copper Kid. And bluegrass. Who am I missing? Oh, Quicksilver. Yeah, Quicksilver, the leader, of course. Although he seemed like he was really technically the leader because he flew the plane and everything. I don't know. It was confusing. Speaking of great cartoons from my childhood, Johnny Quest and Haji and Bandit are now working with Space Ghost. So that's very, very different. Dynamite. Do you guys be reading this stuff? Because I don't read a lot of modern at all, but some of this stuff intrigues me, but I just have this weird fear they're going to corrupt it and make all my characters be all woke and stupid. You know, I don't want to put up with that crap. If you like that crap, that's on you. I'm just saying, I'm not into that. The Heroic Age, the Avengers. I don't know if this is under the Heroic Age or Avengers, but when I scanned that, I didn't have to worry about it. I just saw, yeah, that's the cover. So I'm curious about the Heroic Age. They look... I feel like this was after they got finished with that whole year of being Image comic people, and they went back to their roots or kind of thing. Kind of like the way DC did their whatever. I don't know. Oh, here's another Avengers, but this... Or not Avengers. This is Invaders Now, not Invaders... What was the other one with the Batgirl looking thing on the front? The vampire girl on the front. I think that was just Invaders... It wasn't Invaders Now, was it? I'm flipping through the comic books to my side here. My fingers are freezing. Yeah, it was nice and warm earlier. But now that the sun's going down, so is the temperature. Oh, I can't find it. Oh, well. Anyway. I thought it was one of the first ones I showed. Maybe it was in a different pile. So Invaders Now. Cool cover, but that's not the reason I bought it. I bought it because I like Invaders, and hopefully it'll be good. It also says Dynamite, which is confusing. Wait a minute. It's Marvel and Dynamite. I'm so confused with modern stuff. Majestic. This is a modern one. This is not the original 4-issue series from the original Image comics. This is the DC, whatever. Now here's X-Men. When I've never gotten this far. So 69. When they started doing this logo and this artwork started getting more realistic, it took a turn that was really dark looking. I was like, I don't know if I want to go down that route. But eventually I will. All right, the final fall of Hawkman. So, Hawkman. Do I need to say more? All right, we're going to finish this off, and then let's see if I have enough time to... My foot's falling asleep. Freak Force. I thought I had some of these. I have 0, but now I have number 6. All right. Freak Force. Well, let's be honest. Image Comics had a way of turning out like 1,000 things that were pretty much all the same, just rebranded, slightly tweaked here and there. The artwork in these are absolutely amazing, and the stories are not bad. So, anytime I find a cross-gens comics and I have some room, like, I think this is also one of those things where I need a dozen. Here we go. Black Condor #1. I couldn't believe I found this for $1, or 88 cents, I guess. I was like, holy crap, this is like awesome. So I think Black Condor is who became Hawkman during the 90s, and I guess they were trying to... No, this is 92. I thought it was before Hawkman. I don't know. See, this is where if you read comic books out of order and in hindsight, you can't really kind of piece it together. Oh, and I got some Electric Warriors because they look interesting. I don't. The Big Slam Jam, I don't know what these are. They do look interesting, though. It looks like Transformers art from like the last few issues of Transformers. And it could be. I mean, it could be the same artist, but by Doug Moench and Jim Backey. Doug Moench. Let's say, so the writers first, then Jim Backey must be the artist, and then Dan Akins is the inker if they do the traditional 3 things. Doesn't that look like a Transformer? It seriously does. It's like Decepticons, attack. Yeah, this definitely looks like Transformer stuff to me. Now, I saw these and I was like, this looks very interesting. I like the art right here. It reminds me of all the stuff I used to get as sci-fi books when I was a kid, like Homes of Tomorrow and Workplaces of Tomorrow and Schools of Tomorrow and things like that. Yeah, it just like futuristically weird stuff. I don't know. I just thought it was pretty cool looking. Unfortunately, I can only find 2, 3, and 4. I think somebody goes there and gets all the number 1 comics, but I beat him to Black Condor because you never can find number 1s. And I look into other things for number 1. Sometimes they're not in there either. So I think somebody just picks out the number 1s because he's probably one of those people who believes number 1s are going to be worth more. Yeah, because you're hoarding them. You can't really read number 1 and just leave it there, can you? Washington, D.C. has become a madhouse, like the Mad Men from Blue Beetle. And we got Creeper, and we got Hawk and Dove. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Finally, I got number 1 of Legion 89, so I can start reading right here and understand what the heck I was trying to read when I was reading some of that. All right, so finally, I get to understand this. That's good. Are you ready for some new stuff? All right, let's take a stretch break real quick. All right, everybody, don't sit there. Get up and stretch. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let the blood flow to those legs again. Ooh, okay, lean to the left. Now lean to the right. All right, ready? We're in the home stretch. All right, here we go. When I said I got new comic books, I wasn't joking with you. This is a new comic. If you watch my stream the day before I went down there, I got number 1, or I read number 1 and did a review because I was like, I need to read this. I'll see if I get number 2. So I'm still intrigued. And then the guy that worked there, he actually knew. He reads Power Rangers from. I was like, oh my gosh, good. You can answer some questions like, who is those blue people? Remember Zordon? He's one of those blue people. It's like, he's like white and in a tube. He's like, yes, but that's his people. And he got trapped in an interdimensional blood. I was like, oh, okay. So the blue girl that's replaced the black guy, which I like the black guy. I wish he did say there. He was kind of like, oh, you stupid teenagers. But they weren't even teenagers. They were like the oldest looking teenagers I ever saw. So, but he was like, he was artificial intelligence, wasn't he? But he was like, he was an artificial intelligence of the actual guy who they thought died. I don't know. I never got to watch all of it and finish to the end. Anyway, so I liked him. So I was really kind of disappointed that he was replaced. But he explained a little bit of things, so it made a little bit more sense to me. So like, all right. So I went back in there and got number 2. I got finished like, oh crap, I was going to get number 2. And after he explained all that stuff to me, no, actually, I talked to him. Anyway, it's hard to remember. I just know I was like, all right, I'm going to get number 2. Number 3 and 4 are still there. All right, so I got the foil of Action Comics number 252, just like the original comic was foil back in the 50s. So we got the first appearance of Supergirl, introducing Supergirl from Krypton. Is she friend or foe? And I know you don't know. There we go. There. See how it catches the light? Wow. Foil goodness. All right, Mark, remember you were like going on about the new DC Comics and stuff. And when you get to this, I was like, oh, I didn't know Youngblood was coming back. You know what? I'm going to get that brand new comic. This is not a reprint. This is a brand new comic. They didn't have any of the billions of other covers, which I don't care. I'll be fine with this one. But I liked Youngblood back in the day. 2 comics, I liked Wildcats the most. Okay, there's nothing compares to Wildcats. But second, I kind of like Youngblood second because it was kind of like Wildcats was your JLA X-Men amalgam. Youngblood was your Avengers, and I don't know, just Avengers is what they were. I mean, you got your Hawkeye right here, but he's the leader. We got your Incredible Hulk. We got your Iron Man. You know, we got basically your Avengers here. Get the squirrel. Get the squirrel. Go get him. Now the cat, like, right in front of me. He's going after him. That squirrel is an idiot. He shouldn't have ran out in the middle of the road. You don't tempt my cats and just let it sit. All right, so I got some comics that weren't $1. My throat is getting dry. I'm going to try to wing it to get through here. I was reading over for November, and I was like, oh, good, they got number 9, because I read 7, 8, and 10. I need number 9. This is the only Weapon X I need, so I got it. Oh, the white stickers are different from the red stickers. Red stickers, I get a discount, which I was like, oh, okay. So I think I get like 10% off or something. Because I know that this one was $4.50 because I got it separately. $4.50 plus tax. Or that includes tax. think I get about 10%, maybe 15% off. I can't remember. I didn't even know I got off the new comics. I thought it was only off of old comics. So the white stickers are stuff they got from collections, I guess. I don't know. The white stuff is what I usually like anyway. So I get 25% off of that, but I think you do too. But only subscribers get discounts off of this, I think. Didn't know. I have to go in there and adjust my prices, or when I go and put it in my Excel spreadsheet. Yes, I keep two different things because back in the day I kept everything on Excel spreadsheets. Then this app came along, which was great because I can't carry my computer in my pocket, but I can carry an iPhone in my pocket and have this CLZ app on. So that way I won't keep buying the same thing over and over again thinking, I don't think I have that one. Oh, I do. You know, that kind of thing. So Weapon X, that was like, you know, I needed it for my collection, and that's fine. That $3 is a good price by itself. So for $2.25, I guess it would be excellent because I'd buy a whole lot of stuff for $2. So fine with me. This one was like, oh my gosh, DC Special. It's called DC Special number 16. Super Gorillas. But the great thing is these are all reprints. I'm pretty sure. I didn't open it, of course. Oh, don't open comics. She got back there and said, I know you're a regular, but don't open the comics. But I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought I just needed to check because there was one Cybernary, and I was like, I don't have Cybernary on my CLZ app, but I remember it was a flip issue. I don't know if I have this Cybernary or not. So I took it out. I was like, oh, it's Deathblow number 1. Yep, I have it. So I was like, that's the only reason I took it out. I was just making sure that the flip side, I could see it because, you know, you can't see a flip issue with the backboard. Most of them have backboards. I didn't get that one because I already have it. But I wasn't sure if I had it, so I would have bought it accidentally not knowing I had it. Anyway, they needed to fix that in CLZ, so if it's a flip comic, they should put it under Cybernary and under Deathblow. Just saying. And I probably can do that myself, fudge it to make it have, like, take a picture of it and add it to the whatever. Because you can do that for yourself. I've done it with some of my collector magazines, like Toy Fair, Toe Marks Comics, whatever. Matilda, here you go. Superman's shoving Jimmy to the side. Do I get extra points for that? I know there's some yellow, but it's mostly white, really. All right, but hey, it's got Jimmy also on the cover, but he's getting shoved. So, Matilda, do I get plus points for that? Well, give me a score. So this is $6 for this issue, but of course, with my discount, it's $4.50, I guess. Oh, I could do math. Yes. Actually, it was pretty easy. $6 is like 60 minutes, and what's a quarter of an hour? Or 25% of an hour? 15 minutes. That's how I did it in my head real quick. It's not magical. Nomad number 1. I like number 1s because and I'm not one of these people who goes to the stores and buy number 1s out of the dollar bin. I have a few of these, and I wanted to get number 1 so I can go ahead and read it because I'm not going to find number 1 in the dollar bin. You might be thinking maybe he takes all the number 1s. He might have. I don't think I looked for that particular number 1 that I was talking about. I did buy 2 of the Prime. This one was one of the new ones. They keep the 4 recent issues on the thingamabob that you look at, and without having to go through the box. I already picked one out, and then she's like, "Oh, there's more over here." And I looked for number 1. I couldn't find number 1 in Prime, and I was about to put this back. I was like, you know what? It's SBD, and I freaking love SBD, so we're gonna keep this one. I know it's probably not SBD inside, but because that's how they do their stupid covers. The covers make you want to buy it, even though it has nothing to do with the story, and that's so common. I hate that. But I do. I freaking love SBD. That's my favorite of the Power Rangers series, and I hated Power Rangers at the time. I just thought SBD was amazing. This was the number 3 that I picked. It was the lowest number they had. They didn't have 1 and 2, I don't think. I know they didn't have number 1. And it may have been number 2 was so ugly, I said, no, I'm not going to buy it. So this is another new comic. I think the other number 3 and 4 had the VR Troopers kind of on the bottom. So I was like, all right, I'll get this alternative cover because that's cool. And MTB, if you're watching this far into the video, yes, new comics are $5 each and more. All right, this is a comic I wanted to read so bad as a kid. Now I finally got it. Number 21. How did you know about this one? I remember seeing something when I was a kid about, history of DC Comics or whatever. And the first time they brought over the whole crisis on whatever, it was this. And I was like, but I think the Flash crossover was the first time we ever found out they were Heroes. I think this was like shortly after, but I don't I don't remember that much. I just know I've always wanted to read this issue. And there we go. So I finally got it. Oh, there we go. Now you can dark. See how much prettier these foils are? I need to get like some a little runner light to go around it and put it on like a frame. I don't think the cover is that pretty though. I'm not going to keep it on display. If I kept any of these on display, it probably would be this, and I put my action figures in front of it because I have all the 6 SPDs. Like, but I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, McFly, Doggy Kruger. Did you forget about Doggy? All right, and of course, this is the reason I have a subscription, because I was collecting these. I don't know how much farther they're going to go with this, unfortunately. I hope they keep going forever, to be honest with you. Like, you know, they used to do that with Spider-Man. They did, what was that called? There was a Marvel Tales, I think, did it for the longest time. So keep on going. I will be buying every one of these, because I have every one of the issues of Fantastic Four on DVD because it was legal and they made it themselves. But it's but I'd rather have the paper version, of course, the original foil, just like the original comic books were made in foil. But nothing beats a floppy. They just look pretty, and you got the whole story there. Look, it's a thickie. That's why it's, you know, oh, it's only $4.90. That's the crazy thing. This is $4.99, but I think this was $6.99. So I feel like Marvel's doing us better, because this one's probably got the same number of pages, but you're paying less for this one. Now, you can get the non-foil of this for the $4.99, but the thing is, the non-foil of this is also $4.99. Hey, I don't know why. All right, so, guys, these cold days coming ahead, got lots of stuff to read. What are you reading, and which one of these did you get for your personal collection, your PC? All right, have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I cherish every comment you put below. Even if I don't get to comment back, it just makes me feel like you actually did watch it, instead of just put it on the background and fall asleep, which I know I can put people to sleep in a heartbeat. Have a great day.